Joe, your assessment, please, after a really hard-fought away point today.
That assessment's fairly accurate. I think you have to look at it in isolation in terms of a result away at Chester. The run they've been on, I think Brackley, South Shields, Tamworth, they've dispatched of late some great results to then come here after a couple of weeks off, which has given us a chance to work on a few things, embed the new players into us and how we want to play. For your goalkeeper then to have to play 75 minutes with one leg, it's a great result. It's a great point. I don't think there'll be many teams that come here and keep a clean sheet, which is great. And then it's about us trying to build on it as best we can. But the boys deserve a lot of credit for today.
And the boys in front of Cameron deserve a lot of credit. He made one second half save, a magnificent save, but they've restricted a lot of the things that he might have had to face ordinarily.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, beyond that as well, like everyone can see the type of team we want to be in terms of possession based and handle the ball. But to do that, sometimes you need to go back to your goalkeeper to restart, and we couldn't even do that. He physically couldn't kick and couldn't move. So it was a case of every time the ball goes in behind us, the boys have got to do something that's completely unnatural. You've got to kick it off for a throw, you've got to kick it in behind you, which is difficult. And we've had to manage that as well because we weren't able to settle at any point as such until we got higher up the pitch. So no, massive credit to all of them, and I'm so pleased for them. They've got something to show for it. I remember that game here last year where we got done in the 95th minute when we didn't deserve it. So there's got to be some progression there when you look at that, and arguably we probably had the best chance in the second half to win it.
A longer term, how is he?
Not a clue. It obviously looked at quite an innocuous one, which is always a worry in the way he done it, and not only that, for him to signal straight away says that it could be a problem, but at the same time, hopefully Carol can assess it over the coming days and things settle down and maybe it's not as bad as first feared.
Ethan Sefton off as well, so the result gets even more impressive the more you look at it.
Oh yeah, but it's something that, listen, we don't want a culture of excuses. I think everyone says about injuries, every team, but we've never wanted to use that as an excuse. If one comes out, then everyone steps up. But it would be nice to have a settled group consistently to pick from. And for Ethan personally, he's come back from an injury. Obviously, we've had a little layoff in terms of games. To then come back today, he was, in terms of his mobility, there's never been any problem or reaction. So for that to go today is really disappointing. But again, we'll have to assess it and just see where we go with it.
Like you mentioned it last year, was that starting to creep into your minds on the bench with how late it went last year and how late it looked like it could go this year?
I'll be honest, no, because I just think we've got different characters this year. We've got some really, really good leaders back there, and beyond anything else, throughout the half, we'd limited them to so little. I mean, because the crowd are good here, it always sounds like you're under more pressure than you are. Sometimes a lot of it was outside of us and crosses that we dealt with comfortably. A couple of shots from distance that went over. As you said, that one save from a corner, but other than that, I don't think he's had to make another one, which for someone that had one leg for that length of time is fairly good going. And I don't know, I think probably after 65, 70 minutes, it was more in my head, but I suppose my youthful optimism, I was thinking, could we nick one? But on the balance of it, I'm sure on the way home and after a sleep tonight, that'll be looked at as a massive point gained.
He nearly did though. Jacob Hazel probably had the chance of the game.
I know, and he deserved that for his work rate. He just gives us another fall up there with his running capacity and his work rate and his pressing. He gives you a focal point in a big way, and then we get runners off him and to try and get as much support to him as we can, and he was absolutely tireless. And yeah, I mean, it'd be nice for him to get it because that's all he's missed is a goal, because everything else he's given us has been top draw.
Free week and then back at home. That'll be most welcome after 4 weeks in between home games.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, the journey today takes a lot out of you as well. It's a really, really long one. But no, we're excited by it. We really are. And, this group, as we're building it, there is a real feel of optimism. Us as a staff, we've discussed it a little bit, and we look at what we've got on paper on top of what's to come back. There's a really exciting group here. Yes, we're going to build, we're going to improve, and there's still a long way to go, but you see signs of it all the time. But now we've got to try and back it up with more consistent results, because we're picking them up here and there. Great opportunity Saturday in front of our crowd. Obviously against a team that we really didn't give ourselves a chance there with how poor we were in certain aspects, and we'll be honest in that. But this is a chance now for us to, yes, we're a different animal, but show what we're all about. And on top of the fans, I just want to thank those that travelled today. It's a real long way on a cold December afternoon, and they were superb. We could hear them late on, so I thank them for, and I'm sure the players do as well, for what they've done, and I wish them a safe trip home.